Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel Paws, Claws and Feathers. I'm Ola and we've got our lovely flock back there behind me. Recently I've gotten a large amount of people messaging me over on Instagram asking one specific question: how to get your bird to eat veg. Now this is a topic that we also struggled with when we got Paco, who was our first bird. To help you guys out, I've decided to make a video of the 5 different things that we tried with all of our birds. Before I get into that, I thought I would mention that veg is really important to parrots. Birds who do not eat their greens are often deficient in specific nutrients that cannot be accessed from pellets or seeds. So here are 5 methods that we use to convince our birds to eat their veg. Method 1. Try different sizes, shapes and textures. We've got 3 cockatiels: Paco, Denali and Feilan. Paco and Feilan will not eat any form of big veg. Why? I don't know, but they just won't touch it. Denali, on the other hand, loves bigger pieces. I can throw a sugar snap at him and he will go to town. So try cutting the veg up into these different sizes. For all you know, your big hyacinth macaw may just like teeny tiny pieces of veg. Maybe your conure is going to love carrying veg around and crunching on it. While we're on the topic of cutting things up, why not try different shapes as well? Maybe cut your carrots into little sticks. Some birds love to hold things. I know conures do. Corliss loves to hold things as well. We just don't give her big pieces because she throws them around the entire living room and refuses to eat them. They become a toy. Try what works for you. Different textures. Some of your birds may not like the pieces bigger. You may need to even use a blender to whirl it up. Make it all smooth. They might enjoy it that way. Make a smoothie out of it. We've done it before. Honestly, I know these ideas sound crazy, but they work. It's how people manage to get their birds to eat their veggies. One thing we quite commonly do is get ourselves a sweet potato. I'll cut it in half if it's a large one, jab it with a fork a few times, pop it in the microwave for 5 minutes, just until it's soft enough. Take it out, let it cool a little bit, and then I'll mash it up. Simple as that. That ensures that they can't pick any pieces out that they want. They have to eat the sweet potato and the chop together. If I think that they're not eating enough of their veggies a day, then I'll use the sweet potato method, because they can't pick out what they want to pick out and they're forced to get all of their nutrients. Method 2. More applies for the smaller birds. Why not try mixing seed through it? Now I know that this sounds crazy, but if your bird has a love for seed, cut your veggies into tiny little pieces and then mix some seed through it. If you can't get your veg small enough, maybe invest in a food processor. We've got one, it's really helpful. The idea here is similar to the one of the sweet potato. Your bird should go crazy for the seed, and then while trying to pick the seed out, they'll be forced to try some of the veg. So maybe even if they're not getting all of those nutrients in there, they're at least having a taste for it. And that taste should hopefully grow. This is a method that we actually use for the cockatiels. We tried it with our macaw, Corliss, as well, but she actually turned her nose up at it, believe it or not. She refused to touch it, all because the veg was mixed through. Every bird is different. Method 3. Soaked or sprouted seeds. Now, this isn't exactly feeding them veggies straight away, but it's a similar kind of idea. Get your bird's regular seed mix, pop a few teaspoons into a glass, fill the glass with water, let it sit overnight, rinse it in a sieve and then feed like that. By soaking, the seeds are actually unlocking some extra nutrients that were hidden in the dried mix. So your seed mix is already healthier, and because the seed will now be softer, it represents veggies that tiny little bit, which means eventually that new texture of veggies will not be so shocking to them and they are more likely to try it. If you want to go one step further, sprout your seeds. We do it for our guys quite often. This is even healthier than just a soaked seed, as the seed has begun the growth process and it's filled with so many nutrients. So sprouting seeds is super easy as well. Start off the exact same way you would as if you were soaking them. That morning, instead of feeding straight away, keep them in a sieve and rinse them a few times. Pop the sieve onto a bowl and let it sit. Make sure to rinse them 2 to 3 times a day, and I can guarantee you that within 2 days, depending on the seed that you have, you'll see tiny little sprouts forming. At this point, you can just start feeding. They may not like them at first because, well, you've just taken their favourite food on the planet and ruined it, in their eyes anyway. When we first presented sprouted pulses to Corliss, she didn't want to touch them, even a soaked almond. She threw it right back at me. It's the exact same, just a little softer. But seriously guys, feeding sprouts can really help transition your birds onto veg because you're introducing that specific texture early on. Method number 4, feeding times. Now, I know a lot of you guys out there probably fill a bowl up with either seeds or pellets and just leave it in the bird's cage. I can totally see why you do that, and we also did that at the start, but we learned fairly quickly. Take this example. If a child has got full access to food 24/7, when you present them with veggies, are they gonna even want to try them? No, they're going to be full. This is why leaving food in your bird's cage all day is not going to work when you want to get them on veggies. What I highly recommend is feeding the greens the first thing in the morning when you wake up, and then feeding seed mix or pellets in the evening. Don't overfeed your seed mix or pellets though. Read the packaging, see how much it tells you to give them. When we did this method, we fed 2 teaspoons of seed mix per cockatiel. That's all they needed, and they ate it. Just please remember, take out that seed mix that evening, because if you don't take it out just before these guys are sleeping, I can guarantee you the first thing they're going to do in the morning is eat the rest of the seed that they left over, even if they don't like it that much. From then on, your plans to feed them veggies are ruined because they won't be hungry enough. By giving them their veg in the morning, you are not starving them, but you are using their instinct to get them to eat healthy. In nature, when parrots wake up, the first thing they do is look for food. Trust me, if we manage to get these guys to eat veg, you can do it too. Method number 5. Try feeding on different platforms. Now, what I mean by that is, don't just try feeding the veg in a bowl. Make it fun. Try foraging toys. Try foraging trays. Maybe even try make it look like you're eating food. Put the food at the table with your family. I know these ideas sound crazy, but they work. Now, why am I saying try foraging toys? Well, in nature, parrots have to work for their food. So, naturally, at home, if you're presenting them with just a bowl of whatever, they're not going to want to work for it, are they? This is where foraging toys are great, because you get so many different kinds. There are skewers, which you can literally jab multiple different veggies on and get your bird to crunch away at it and tear it off and have fun with it. There are the foraging wheels, which we use for Corliss's mix. There are foraging balls that you could put the food in and the birds have to pick it out. Get creative! Now, with the foraging boxes, you can use any type of box, just make sure it's fairly low down. Birds don't like to feel trapped. I know I'm speaking for these guys, your guys' birds may be different. Fill the box with some shredded kitchen roll, maybe some shredded paper, and then sprinkle in some veg. It's not only fun as they're getting the opportunity to exhibit natural behaviour, which we should be allowing in our homes, but it's also a great way to convince them to eat their greens. I know that trying to get your bird to eat veg by pretending it's your food sounds insane, but we own parrots. How much more insane can it get? Honestly, this method works like a charm. We used it to get Paco to eat a few little bits and pieces. Essentially, get yourself the food that you're wanting to present to your bird. Pretend that you're eating it, pretend that you're really enjoying it. Don't let them get it at this point. If there's any interest from them, don't let it. Play hard to get. Keep moving yourself away from their face. Don't let them get it. Gently nudge them away. Get that interest up. They'll want it more because they can't have it. Then when you think their interest is up enough, put that food down somewhere, watch them go to it. Or put it a little bit closer to them and look away. You'll see them trying to eat it. If none of those methods are working, maybe even try just putting a spoon into the bowl that you're feeding them with. I know this sounds nuts, but they're smart enough to know that cutlery equals our food. If they think that that bowl is our food, they're gonna try it. Let's face it, guys. That's all the advice I have to give right now. I really hope it helps someone out there. If it does, please give me a message, let me know which method worked for you best. Maybe even send me some videos of your birds trying those veggies, because veg is important. But please guys, do not give up. I promise, may it be on day 1 or day 50, your bird will try to eat those veggies. Thank you for watching, and I really hope you have a lovely day. See ya!